Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of our brand new series. So I'm Anusha, a successful digital business mentor and coach. I have been doing this amazing business for the past 18 months and it's completely changed my life. And I'm so excited to kick off this series where we talk about incredible leaders in our community who have achieved the financial freedom through this amazing business. So today is our very first episode, and I'm thrilled to introduce Karen Yuen from Canada. Karen is a true inspiration who started this business with no prior experience, and through her hard work and dedication, she has built a life of financial freedom and flexibility of her family. So Karen's story shows what is possible when you believe yourself and take the action. So she's here to share her journey with us, and the challenges she overcome and the secret to her success. And I would warmly welcome. Let's warmly welcome Karen to our page. Hi, Karen. How are you doing?
I'm good, Anusha. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's always a pleasure to come on to, business owners' pages and just to share my journey.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I know you are such a very busy leader, and thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And I'm so honored to have you here. This is my very first episode. Yeah, considering your time, I have prepared a few questions just to I think it would be beneficial for my audience who are seeking for the financial freedom, achieve financial freedom, time freedom, and yeah, of course, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a inspiring interview, and most of people can take the action after this one also. So I will display the questions for you, Karen. Can you please share a little bit about your background and what motivated you to explore, to the world of digital business?
Sure. So I'm Karen, and I'm currently living in Vancouver, BC, Canada here. So basically the opposite side of the world from Anusha here that's from Australia. So, in my background is I'm a dental technician. So I guess I get teased calling me the tooth fairy. So what I do is I fabricate crowns, bridges, veneers. So basically dental restoration. And I used to own and operate a small lab, of my own, out of my own home, right? And it was just a small business that me and my husband run. But as a small business owner, you're wearing many hats. You're I guess the delivery person, you're the receptionist, you're the billing, you're the shipping, and you're also the manufacturer. So, business was good. We made good income that gave us a decent, good life. But the only thing was that I never thought about is that it was taking away all the time. And, as a mom at that time with two young children, I always felt really, really guilty that I never have that time, just small things, right? Just to take them to the playground for a couple of hours or so. Like most of the time I would have to say, maybe later, but of course that later always turned into maybe tomorrow, and tomorrow is just a repeat. So, and then to the point when my daughter started entering high school, that's when it was kind of my wake up call. And I realized that, time waits for nobody, and my kids will not be kids for much longer. And if I, didn't do anything at that moment to change my situation, possibly in a few years down the road when the kids are off to college, I'm probably going to look back with tremendous regrets. And because I didn't want to think about that day in the future, that's when I started looking for other ways where I can have more time with my kids. I considering closing my lab, opening a different kind of business, because once you're a business owner, it's really hard to going back being an employee, right? Yeah. So I thought about other business venture, but then at the same time, I realized all of those traditional brick and mortar business still require me to be there physically to run the business. And that would still not give me that time freedom. And on top of that, like it's risky just to close everything down and start something new that you don't know if you're going to be successful. And that's when I stumbled across this online. Like, to be honest, I was not looking for an online business or an online solution, because I never thought or imagined that I would, because I really had no technical skills, just like you mentioned earlier, never done anything online, and just was really think it wasn't for me. And on top of that, of course, that skepticism, the way I think, everything online is a scam. But after I came across this business, after doing my due diligence, the only question I asked myself is, what do I have to lose, right? So after checking everything out, I felt like I really have nothing to lose, but a lot to gain. And to be honest, I wasn't sure if I can make it. No one knows for sure. Like when you go into business, nothing is guaranteed, right? But the only thing that I kind of ask myself that question, I go, you know what if it doesn't work out? At least you're still where you are. You're not going backward, but at least you can answer to yourself, like truthfully in the future, that you did try. You tried to make it work, but it didn't work, right? And then what if it works? What would life be like? And that got me really excited. I get to be there to pick them up from school, drop them off after school, go to all their games or recitals, be at all the school functions. So that got me really excited. And that's what inspired me or motivated me to take action and join this business. So that was my why and my reason and what brought me to this business. And partly is because with this business, I felt like there wasn't much risk for me because I could run the business alongside my dental lab business at the moment. So it didn't require me to shut down my lab and start something new. So I could fit it into my regular schedule, which is already crazy to start with, but just with a bit of sacrifice on sleeping, because that was the only time left that I have to give up is my sleep, right? And which is already very little, like only 4 to 5 hours a day. But, to be honest, now 6 years later, looking back, all that sacrifice was totally worth it because, as you mentioned, now I actually own my own time. I was fortunate enough to shut down that dental lab last year, March of 2023. So now I actually completely own my time, right? I no longer work for anybody, not even though I own my dental lab business, I was still kind of essentially working for the dentist, right? So now I completely own my time and I have that financial peace of mind to be able to, be with my family and not stress about our financial situation. So it's just been a true blessing that this business has come into my life. And I had the courage to take that leap of faith really, because I could easily say no and not have done anything. And I'm probably going to be stuck exactly where I was 6 years ago.
Wow, that's amazing. I'm already inspired by listening to this story. Yeah, you are so true. Doing a traditional business and doing this business is a huge difference, right? Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing. My next question would be, so, like people has a different, misconception about running a digital business when it comes to the, online. So how did you have any misconception about this, the business, and how did you overcome doubts and, your skepticism when you started?
Yeah, so definitely, I'm sure maybe some of you watching or many out there that have the same thought, there's a lot of myth around the online business or the digital business world is that the reason that I never thought about I would do online is because I didn't have the technical skill. I was thinking I wasn't a programmer. I didn't know much about internet. I didn't know much skill. So I cannot run a business online. I cannot earn money online because that's what I thought. You need to be a whiz, a computer whiz to be able to learn. Yeah. So that was myth number one for me. And, it's just about finding the right business for you because particularly with our business platform, we provide for you all the training, all the step-by-step training. So we have actually literally taken someone that has never, ever done anything to the point that they've never actually opened a laptop ever. The only device they've used or know how is their phone. And even that is just for basic phone call, some text messages, and maybe going online, YouTube, and basically that's it, right? So very basic tech, but we're able to teach them the step-by-step, not only teaching the skills of how to operate a laptop or a computer, but able to set up their business with all the various aspects needed. And that's why I think I was able to do it because I had that step-by-step training. And also along with that is the mentor from your mentor and your coach is somewhere. That means you have support there. It's not like, you get into this business and you're completely on your own trying to figure everything out just by doing the training because for many first timer like myself, you're a little bit unsure, even though you follow the training, but you always question yourself. Did you do that correctly? Right? You're scared because before for me, whenever I messed up something on a computer, I was too scared to touch it. I would always pass it over to my husband, get him to fix it because I just didn't know how. So that's why I thought that was support. And then I think the second thing is that even though it's a digital business, I think everything in the online world happens really quickly. So people always think that you're going to make money quick, money fast. And yes, the reality is, yes, compared to a traditional business, you can definitely scale your business much faster and quicker, because with the automation, the system, the software, and also having that global reach, right? Compared to traditional business where it's brick and mortar, can only service a certain, demographic in your area. So you can scale it faster. But just like any other business, it will take that time to build and grow it, right? So, just because you work online, you're not going to be generating, thousands of dollars or 10,000 the next month. We have seen people done that in our business, but of course there's always exception to everything. But on average, just like most businesses, it will take time. So for me, over my 6 years of experience, I have found that the average for people to get traction in their business is 6 to 12 months. So that's why when anybody tell you that they can help you start making tens of thousands of dollars next month, next week, I would be very wary and would have to do my due diligence for that, because I feel like there's no such thing as quick money. And if they're selling you on that, there's just something fishy about it, right? And that's really sad, because people that come to our platform, they're hesitant because themselves have been caught in these kind of scams or situation, and they have lost money. So they just think that we're just another one of those, but the truth is not. And the wonderful thing about our business model that I found that really gave me that peace of mind to get started is that throughout the process before you actually get started, they do walk you through step by step of what's going to happen if you decide to join the business. And they do disclose all the costs and everything up front for you to make the decision if you want to take the next step or not, right? So you don't have to commit into something without knowing what's going to happen next, or, what's the pros or cons, and you weigh the risk. You do the calculated risk and decide if this is for you. But, for me, I just felt like the rewards completely outweigh the risk. So that's why I took my chance and started my business, and I'm so grateful I did. Yeah. So those are some of the skeptics that I found. And of course, being the doubtfulness is I don't have the skills, I don't have the time. But I think this business, or our model, is really designed and built to help everyday people like you and I, or some people that are watching today or the replay, is that for normal people that have full-time job, but that is just looking for that extra, that extra income to supplement their income, and that has limited time. So most of us that are in this business today still have the full-time job, because we're just building this as a side hustle to eventually, replace our income and surpass our income, so that we have the choice to quit our job if we choose to. Many of us have surpassed our income, but because this business doesn't require too much time, they actually choose to stay at their job. They didn't quit their job. They find the job enjoyable now, because it's no longer a source of stress. Because when your job is your only source of income, it creates a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, because you're afraid of losing your job and not having an income to support your family. But when you have the peace of mind that you have, this online business that is generating the income for your family, if you do ever lose your job, you don't stress out, because you are taken care of. So that's why people start to be more relaxed and enjoy their work and not be, I guess, so stressed out. So that's why they chose to keep their job at the same time and building their business, so they can grow their wealth much faster and possibly retire early. So those are the few things that, that I came across when I started this business.
That's amazing. And that the misconception that you had, this can resonate to me also, and a lot of people, and I am getting a lot of inquiries from the clients. They had the same thing, when I started, I also had the same thing. Yeah, like you said, you can achieve anything from this business. I am a job kit also, after 11 months being in the business, because I saw the potential of this business and it surpassed my accountant salary. So that was the promise to myself when I started the business. I thought, okay, I'm going to quit when it surpassed my salary. So yeah, so that is amazing. And I think your experience and that you shared, that can resonate a lot of my audience as well. Thank you so much, Karen, for sharing that. Okay, this is the most interesting part, about the income, what does the income journey in this, business typically looks like, and how do you handle the, highs and lows? You build it up, because of course, like in our normal life also, we always have highs and lows in our life also, like a business also. Would love to hear from you.
Yes, definitely. The exciting part, of course, the income. That's why we're here. So definitely, you're right. With a business, is not like having a job. With a job, you show up your 8 hours. You are almost guaranteed that. I'd love to use the word guarantee, that paycheck at the end of the month, but in the past, we have found that that is not always the case. But typically, with a job, you know the security. If I put in the hours, I'm pretty much guaranteed that payout. So ahead of time. But with a business, like you said, high and low, not every month is going to be the same. Not every day is going to be the same. But of course, you would just look at it as a whole average, right? Over 6 months, over 12 months. And you just have to budget yourself. There will be high months, but there will be low months. But if you average out, you'll know what your income will be. And when you have the low months, when you have the high months, you kind of just don't overspend. So you save it for the one that you have the lower months. And because when I started this, it was just a side hustle, but I was still running my full-time lab. So we were still getting a steady stream of income from the lab business that is supporting our family. So any basically income that I earned from this business, I reinvested in my business in the at least for the first year, just to ramp and grow my business and scale it faster. And then once it starts generating, give us that extra income, so we start paying off some debt, doing things that we never imagined or I've always dreamed of but was not able to do. So for example, one of the things is that, I was able to move back to the city to be closer to my parents and family and friends, and purchase my mom, her first new car and all that stuff. So the things that you're able to do that I know with my traditional business or my job before I couldn't have done. And how do you manage it? Because I guess like every business, like I mentioned, there'll be ups and downs, but then because this is a business, you have more control or more power in how much your income you can earn. Because with a job, when you go to, you're trading time for money, and there's only 24 hours in a day. And that's like, it's not physically, possible to work 24 hours a day. Maybe you can pull it off for 1 or 2 days, but we're not robots, right? So with most of us is 8-hour job. Sometimes you might do overtime, or even some people have 2 or 3 jobs, which means they end up working 18 hours a day. But then still only at 18 hours. So that's your income is capped. But with this business, the more time and, then you invest in your business, you can actually scale and grow your business higher. And then, the slow month is just a reflect of how much you work. It's just like you go to the job. If you're just okay with your 9 to 5, which is 8 hours, then you're guaranteed the income. But if you want it more, you work more hours. But for us, it's like scaling. Yes, you do put in more effort, but doesn't mean you're working like, 24 hours a day either. It's just, I'm saying when people get to a comfortable position, they're still earning a good income, but with like maybe working only 1 to 2 hours a day. So if you invest it more, like working 4 to 5 hours a day or so, or even just working 8-hour a day, just like a normal job, you can probably double or triple that income potential possibly, right? Because with the business, there's no cap to your income. And it's just the and what you earn is not a direct correlation with how much time. Of course, the time effort is part of it, but it's not like with a job where 8 hours you earn 8 hours, 10 hours you earn 10-hour salary, right? But then with this, you investing 2 to 3 hours, you might have this income, but you invest the extra 2 to 3 hours, your income could potentially double or triple. So it's like it kind of grows at a much higher rate. So everybody's got different goals. For some people, they're happy with the extra 2,000, 5,000 a month. But some people, they've got a taste of 50,000 a month, and now they like that. So they strive to hit that goal. So that's why it's all with what everybody's comfort or what they're willing, what you tolerate is what you get. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. And like you said, the good thing about this business is you can, this is a scalable business, right? You can reinvest. You can, if you want to go this journey fast, you can absolutely do that. It's totally up to the, the business owner how you want to do it. So thank you so much for sharing, Karen. So next question will be very interesting because we always talk about the passive income, passive income sounds like a dream to many. So can you explain how this business make it a reality and what step help you to create it? Because you have you have reached that level. So like how long did it take you to go generate passive income? If you like to share like your journey, the journey to passive income. would be, yeah, I would love to hear from you.
Sure. So yeah, one of the great thing about this business is that you can build it to the point where it can generate passive income for you. Some people get there faster, some people get there longer. Just like anything in life, it's just what you put in is what you're going to get out. So it took me about 4.5 years to get to this passive income level. So on average, since I reached this level, which is about early in 2023, which is I think in February of 2023. And that was what gave me that confidence to actually shut down my lab. And so that it took me about 4.5 years. And on average, my income monthly right now is about 50,000. I still run the business. It's not like I'm completely laid off, like sit back and do nothing. But it's just that if I do choose to today not to do anything in my business, I think I'll still be generating like about $20,000 to $30,000 a month. But I think because I continue to do this business, it's just like, yes, the money is great, but I think once you see the impact that you have on people and how you're helping people change their lives, you're passionate about it. You're doing it because you love what you do. Is not necessary for the money. Entirely, yes, the money is great. I won't, deny that, to be honest. I would have to question someone that says they don't like the money, but I'm just saying, like, you get to the point, I guess you get to establish, financial comfort zone where your family's taken care of and everything, your day-to-day is taken care of. You're not stressful anymore. So it becomes a passion of working, right? So like I said, with 20, 30,000 a month, we can still have a very, very comfortable lifestyle. But I think in life, there's more to that. It's just like you get there, but then if you don't grow, if you don't continue to contribute, you kind of just die or go backward, right? So that's why I love, for example, being here chatting with you, or just being at our mastermind, or doing these drop-in Zooms where I see people where just something small that I can really help turn around their business and make their business successful really brings me a lot of, joy. And I think it's just all paying back, because I'm so grateful to my mentors, my coach, or the people that, that lit the way for us and made it possible for me. And now this is as a pay it forward. I'm just here to support the community and to help new business owner on their journey, because I know for me, it was a scary one. So that's why it's very easy for me to, connect and resonate with the new owners, because I've been there. I've been in their shoes. I've done that. So I can totally validate their feelings and what they're going through, and validate that, there's no such thing as a stupid question, because I've asked all those silly questions too. but I'm just really grateful to be able to do this. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. It is a dream of mine also, like earning 50,000 month, and even if you don't do nothing, you're still able to earn 20,000. That is massive, and for such a very short period, 4.5 years, if you can achieve that, that is incredible. That is one of my goals. I want to be there. Like, I've been in the business 18 months, but like you said, yeah, I really appreciate, Karen. I totally agree with you. This business has become the fashion. I can see you are giving so much to the community. I see you everywhere pretty much. You are helping everybody. I invited you, came here, and just to help me out as well, just inspire other people. And you are such a great leader, and we are so lucky to have you inside our community. Thank you so much for everything, Karen. And let's move to, I know we are sorry to take your time. Let's move to other question. So, how has achieving financial freedom through this business changed your life and your family's lifestyle? Would love to hear that as well.
Sure. So like I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest, life-changing, I feel, impact that I have through this business is having that financial capability to move back to Surrey. Because when I started my dental lab, I had to move out of Surrey, which is about 30 minutes from where I'm currently living now. And this is where I grew up. This is where my family and friends are. But because of my dental lab business, we need to move further to be successful, because there's just too much competition here. So moving away, we felt really isolated. Even though it was only an hour, but still, it's just, it's not as convenient to see your friends and family without driving for an hour, and to plan your day and make your schedule, because at that time I was still really busy working. So it's always been a dream of mine to move back. But I think in any part of the world, when you're moving from the countryside or the rural side to the urban side, it's going to be more costly, right? More expensive. The housing will be more. So, we just thought we would never have that chance to move back because we just couldn't afford it with our current business, the dental lab. But because of this business, it gave us that income that supported us moving back. And part of moving back is just that, we're closer to friends and family, and it's a more vibrant life because, there's shops, there's restaurants, and because I'm Vietnamese Asian, so we miss our Asian markets and our cuisine and all that stuff, because when I move further away, there's not much availability. But the other impact is that because I'm able to move back here, I can support my parents during their retirement because, they kind of sacrificed a lot to raise 6 of us as an immigrant to Canada. And I'm, just like many immigrants in those days, the only thing they worry about when they came here is just to provide for their family. They actually never thought about their future, their retirement. We don't, because they just need the basic necessity and security now. So now that they're entering retirement, they don't have a pension plan. They don't have anything saved up. So it's basically they're living off almost like the social service. They do have a small pension, but with the cost of living here, that can barely get by. So I was able to help support them during that because now we moved back here. We got the in-law suite downstairs that they stay. So then it's nice that they can be there financially free, and we support them in many ways, but not just financially, but just support them emotionally because they're not on their own anymore, even though they're still healthy and be on their own. But it's still, as a senior couple, it gets lonely or it gets kind of scary because they worry too when something happened. There's no one around. And even though they can speak, minimal English, but they still feel more comfortable that one of us is there to help if anything ever happened, like to, translate or anything, even though they're able to yourself. But it's just nice to see that we can support them in that way, right? Because it's really heartbreaking because I do see if they're some of their senior friends where they're on their own and no children around. It's quite sad. So I'm really glad that my parents are able to move in with us and be able to and the kids, well, it brings me so much joy to see the connection and the bond that my children are having with my parents, like their grandparents, because we are so close now. Because I know before they were not that close. We visit maybe, once a month. So it doesn't have that connection or that bond, but to see them have that bond is just, it's priceless. Yeah. So I think, because of that financial capability, it has allowed me to do these things that's really changing. And actually it sounds like a long time ago, but it was just this year in June and July, I was able to take my parents, of course, with my family as well, on a trip to Asia. So we did Japan and Vietnam, and I was able to, book them in the first class suite so that they have a very, very comfortable flight to Asia, which is something that I would never, ever even thought of these years. Like not that I never knew it existed, but I knew it existed, but it was just never, ever even in my wildest dream that we will fly, this way with this much comfort and luxury, right? So it's really great because I know it is a long flight for a senior to be sitting in for like over 10 hours, but just to have that luxury and see them enjoy life, it's just those little moments that I feel like it's priceless. And it's only possible because I'm able to generate this type of income that I can provide for my family. So yeah, it's been really like a blessing. And I don't know, I just can't say enough about how grateful I am. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that is incredible, and it's amazing to hear. That is one of my dream also. Booking the business class and just take whole family and being comfortable. That is a dream of mine. I'm pretty sure that I can make that happen through this amazing business. And it's so incredible to hear from you, how it has changed your lifestyle, like you said. I mean, that is a dream of my life as well. So I'm hoping to get there, I mean, 4.5 to 5 years. That is, I think it's good time period, and we can, I'm pretty sure we can achieve. And your story, I'm pretty sure this will, inspire a lot of my audience as well. Thank you so much, Karen. So we came to our last question in our this amazing interview with you. So I just, I want to get your advice, who someone like considering this opportunity but hesitant. We have so many people who gave the email address and name and email address, but they're not taking the next step because like us, like you and me, we were very skeptical. But it took time. I mean, we took the action, right? So what you can say to them, what do they stand to gain, that now? So what is your advice would be?
Yeah, well, honestly, I'm not sure if I have any advice, but just speaking from my own experience, just ask yourself those reality questions, right? Like, what is it going to cost you if you don't take action, right? So if you don't do anything today, how will your life be in 3, 5, or 10 years from now? Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself still at the same job where you're always stuck and stressed, and then your kids just growing up every day and you're not being there for them? Are you okay with that, right? Or will you look back in 5, 10 years or wishing that, hey, why didn't I join that business that Anusha was talking about? Maybe it would be so much difference, right? And then flip it around and maybe ask yourself the other question, what if it works, right? What if in 5 years, I can be where Karen is? What would my life be like? That is all you have to ask yourself. But I'm like, so, if you don't do anything, what's going to happen? And then also, of course, because it's a business, it's scary and you've never done it. So I totally can understand, guys, I really do, why you hesitate, because I did hesitate for a little while before I actually, pulled the plug and actually started the business after I did all the checks, right? But I asked my question, those real questions that gave me, guidance or clarity on what I should do. So, and then ask yourself, what if you did take action and it didn't turn out the way that you hoped or you dreamed or it should be? Will you have regrets that you've done it? Because I'm sure, the reality is there's a lot of people that joined and they gave up along the way, but I don't heard anyone say that they regret doing the business, because even though they did not gain that financial freedom or financial income that they were looking for, but they have set along the way, they have grown personally, on their personal development. They learned to appreciate other things that they missed before in life. So this business is just, for me in the beginning, I obviously I didn't make any money right away in the beginning, right? I think not until my 3rd, 4th month. But I think in my first month in the business was the most valuable, because I got this, insight into all these things that I've never really thought about, and stuff that they never teach you about school, like gratitude and just personal development, all that stuff, so I found it super valuable. So that's all I have to ask for you. It's ask yourself those questions. And like I said, each step that you go through the process, you are always disclose of what's going to happen next. So obviously the first step is you sign up for a free webinar, and it doesn't cost you anything. All it will probably cost you is about 90 minutes of your time. So if this 90 minutes has the potential to change your life, is it worth it, right? Is it worth it? Or you're just going to waste another 9 minutes scrolling through Facebook, scrolling through YouTube, watching, I don't know, kind of like pointless cat videos. I don't know, right? Is it worth it if this 90-minute could change your life? And the next step is just paying our one-time membership fee to get the inside look of what it entails in our business program. And then you'll get disclosed what are the investment costs and what is the process. And then you decide if this is something you're comfortable doing. You know what? If you're not, you can get your refund, right? So you've got nothing to lose in terms of financial commitment to checking out the business. But trust me, that webinar and that one-time fee is life-changing. And I would say probably, the only regret actually I've heard, or I myself have, is that I wish I have known about this business sooner, right? Is if I would have known this business 2-3 years earlier than when I started, I would have missed out on so much of those precious moments with my kids. Because by the time I started, my daughter was almost ready to enter high school. I think she was on her grade 7 year, moving into high school. And that's when I changed. I believe that's when she entered high school, somewhere around that time. So I just, felt that if only I knew it sooner. So just be real and ask your question. I understand, something online. There are many opportunity, and of course, you've got to do your due diligence, because there are legitimate ones, but then there are also ones that are scams. So you just have to do your diligence, ask all your question, but you don't have to take my words for it, because we're strangers. You don't know me, but I promise you this business is 100% legitimate. We pay our yearly taxes every year. So for me, anything that you need to pay the tax that the government get a piece of, it's got to be legit. Because if it's not, the government can't come after you for the tax. So that checks off on my book. So 100% legit. But then, just like any business, it still takes time. Just because it's legit doesn't mean that you pay your investment, you do think that you're going to make money. It's just like you buying an investment. They promise you that it will go up, but no one can predict what the economy is going to do. It can go up, but it can go down too. But with this business, I can't promise you that you will be successful, because I don't know what you're going to do it. But I can promise you that if you buy into the business, you're not going to regret it, because it really gives you that opportunity, because it allows you to have full control of your destiny, of where you want, what you want your life to be like.
Yeah, what a great advice that you gave. Yeah, nothing to lose, right? So if you are just think about if you want to change the life, you want to have a dream life that now Karen is living on, and also that is a dream of mine as well. So take the action today, and then we are very happy to help you. And thank you so very much, Karen. I'm very honored to have you here, and thank you so much for your valuable time. And I really appreciate your experience that you shared with my audience. And thank you so much, and have a good day.
Alrighty, you too, Anusha. Thank you for having me.
Bye bye.
Okay, bye.